But when you have the soil, the surface as compact as this, might as well you go ahead and just disturb everything just for it to be more breathable. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. For those of you who are new, welcome. I'm CountryMarro. Today I'm going to be planting out a few lavender that I picked up at Lowe's, and I'm just going to be dropping these at the front of the yard in two terracotta pots that I have outside there. So we'll be going to the front of the house today to plant a few things and just reorganize those pots. I have a few things in them, but when I get around there, I'll explain that a little bit more to you guys. I also have some butter crunch lettuce, which I'll be planting a few of them around there also. But let's get around there and you guys can see. Before we go, I'm just gonna pack everything that I have here in the gorilla cart so that I don't have to be making trips around the yard. So I think one set of butter crunch lettuce will be good for the front. And before we move from here, let me show you guys what's happening with the thyme. These are the thyme that we propagated when last week it was, or the week before, I'm not sure, but there they are. Another set right here and another set right here. We're at the front of the yard, but before we start doing anything, I want to show you guys the fruit trees that I planted 2 weeks ago, and also the lawn, how well it's bouncing back after those patches. So this is what it's looking like with a bit of rabbit manure tea. Just put that rabbit manure in water to soak, get it all dissolved, and just spread it all over the lawn and around the roots of these fruit trees. A few of them are going dormant, but that's okay. They'll bounce back in the spring. We're about 2.5 months away from springtime here in Central Florida. So these will bounce back and we should be good. This is what we'll be working on today. Well, two of them, this one and another one over on that side. But these terracotta pots are what we'll be working with today. I have a few bok choy in them. I think I'm just going to remove these. They're not as stout as the ones that I have around the back, but maybe it's because they're not getting a lot of care right here. I don't tend to these as much as I do the ones in the back. I also have some lettuce inside here. Let me just show you guys. These are lettuce that I have inside here. I'm just going to be transplanting them, maybe in the same container, but just shifting them around so that they have more space, and just to beautify this pot a bit more. So let's just continue getting rid of these bok choys. Root system are good on these. I'm really not disappointed with the root system, but these were just some seeds that I sprinkled inside here about 3 weeks ago, and they just started popping up. I wanted to start using these two containers as a little vegetable setting at the front of the house. So I think I'm going to be moving out most of these lettuces that I have in here. I didn't even realize that it was so much lettuce that was in this container. Look at the amount of lettuce we have in here. These should be good to transplant. Let me just get something to uproot them so I don't break them off. This is a small space that we're dealing with, so I think I can use this. If I can get all of them like this, they will be much easier to transplant where I want them to. I'm going to have to get something to rest them on so that I don't mess up the front yard area. So I'm just going to rest them on this Home Depot bag that I have here. And I think I'm going to take out most of these just because I want to organize this pot or these two pots, but I'm trying to get them with as much soil as possible around the roots. These make for easy transplant. I'm also going to disturb the surface of this soil because it's kind of crusty on top. There's this crust that has formed on top of this soil, or on the soil surface in this container, that I really can't explain. This is just a timberline soil. I fill these pots with nothing more, and a bit of rabbit manure, as you all know, a bit of rabbit manure inside there. When watering these containers, I realize that it is very difficult for the water to soak into the soil, so it's also a good idea now for me to just disturb the surface and get things reset right now. Looking at this, I shouldn't have taken up any lettuce at Home Depot, because this is more than maybe 20 lettuce plant that I have here, but I'll find space for them in the garden around the back. The thing is, right now I just want to beautify the front a bit, but not with ornamental. I want to have some edible things beautifying my front yard. Yeah, some of these really giving some problem, but nothing is wrong if I lose a few. You win some, you lose some. So let me just continue and empty this container, and then I'll get back to you guys. I'm really not sure what's happening in this container, but this is compact hard on top, and it's just a timberline soil that is in it, and it is super hard. So I guess I'll be removing all the plants from it. We have some tomato here. Well, I'm just going to be removing all the plants from it and see what we can fix here. But it's very crusty on top and just hard. So let's just disturb it, and maybe this is the reason why these plants are growing so slow. So let's see if we can fix it. I wanted to have these containers lush by Christmas, but then that's not going to be, because it's too late now. However, they'll be looking good anyways in just a short space of time. Well, let's just disturb this soil some more. This is the first I'm experiencing this with the, whether it be the timberline or the black cow. So this is my first time experience the soil going so hard, because this should be mostly mulch. It's like a very well drained mulchy type soil, and then the top of it is just crusty like that. So I'm really not sure, but we're not going to add or take away from this. We're just going to disturb the soil, and now we're going to go in and plant a few things. So even though these are edible, I'm going for a bit of aesthetics because I'm at the front of the house. So I'm trying to get it looking very beautiful also. So let's give it some spacing And I realized there's a lot of broken glass in this soil also. I'm wondering if Timberline and Black Cow is the same company with just a different marketing name. Think we can use think we can use 4 in this bed here. And these lettuces, whenever they are ready, you just come by, break the leaf. Well, not you, but these lettuces, whenever they are ready, we can just come by and pick a leaf, and they'll be there for the season, the grow season for them, going back into spring. I'm going to put one of the lavender in the middle. Lavender is a perennial, so it can stay there, spread away, and I can always cut it back and plant edible around it. And when the lavender bloom, that will also be beautiful. I was also planning on putting maybe a cabbage or so in one of these, but now that the reality has kicked in and I see the space that I'm working with, I won't be putting in any cabbages in these containers. Just don't have enough space for them right now. So I'm just gonna be putting in these lettuces, which I can come on a daily basis and harvest the leaves. But then the cabbages, I realize that they're getting so big, might as well I just leave them in the garden area. I'm going to be putting in some of these different color lettuce also. They should be beautiful. I don't want to overcrowd it, but I still want it to have that lush look. So everything is really going back. Well, not everything, a lot of things are going back. And then now I'm just going to make some rabbit manure tea for these containers. So this is looking enough for this container on this side. Let's move on to the next side and put some things in that one over there. So we're over on this side, and I'm just going to be getting rid of these bok choy. They can be transplanted in the back garden. Maybe that is what I'll have to do with these, but more or less they won't be wasted. So let me just get them out, maybe take them around the back and find some space for them. And I didn't even realize that it was so much that was in these containers. So with this container over here, this is what it's looking like now. I've gone ahead and removed all the bok choy. Those will be transplanted to the back garden. And we have a ton of different type of lettuces in here. I'm gonna start uprooting them. And this is what I'm talking about. Everything is coming up. And it's not the root system that is causing this. It's just the soil binding together. Just not sure why. But we're gonna fix it. I think I can go for this and use it to get more. Because the thing that I'm noticing with these whilst uprooting them, the root system, they are not that deep. So maybe that is why these aren't doing so well. But then whenever you can get that soil loose enough and the surface breathable, you will get better roots. So it's like you're doing an aeration to the soil in these containers. And I know people may say I could have gone ahead and punched holes in the soil surface just to aerate it. But when you have the soil, the surface as compact as this, might as well you go ahead and just disturb everything just for it to be more breathable. This looks like a tiny scotch bonnet coming up here. I'm going to leave it, or I'll try my best to leave it. This is also a part of the reason why I prefer sowing seeds than going to the store and buying seedling. You can make mistake with seeds when you sow them, and you can correct yourself easier because you just have so much more plants. Like right here, when I'm done, I'm just gonna take the camera down. From this container alone, I've uprooted over 50 lettuce seedling. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with them, but I'm gonna try to see how much I can plant out right now. Granted, it's a cool day, so I won't be outside melting away. We still have some small lettuce inside here, but I'm just gonna cut them up and let these just decompose in this container because this is just too much for me right now. As in, not too much work, but this is just gonna be too much lettuce for me to be planting out. I won't have the space for it, and even if I'm giving away lettuce, I don't know enough people to give that many lettuce. Let me give you guys a joke. Last spring, I was playing a Wednesday night football game where we would play every Wednesday. I think it's about 8 or 9 o'clock. It's a league, a small league, 8-a-side. And I told the guys that I had cabbages and other garden stuff. Had to just break a little. The fire trucks. There's a fire station about 4 or 5 roads behind me or in front of me. And every time the trucks are going out or the vehicles are going out, you know, the sirens, they start to make a lot of noise. So I just break a bit, some form of emergency right now. So we have to bear with that. But when it's not the fire truck, it's the aeroplane. So I told the guys that I had, you know, some garden produce, and if they wanted, I had some in excess. And they were like, yeah, take them. I started taking cabbages, cucumbers, everything that I had, peppers, and like for the first 3 weeks, everyone was happy. They were like, yeah, bring them on. And one evening, I took about 8 cabbages or so and asked who wanted. Everyone was telling me that they still had things on their fridge and they can't hold anymore. So planting in excess is good some of the time, but you have to have a plan on what you're going to be doing with it. You can only give away so much, in the sense that pouring it onto someone else, at some point theirs won't be able to hold it. So I don't want to go for an overkill in any of my grow season again. I just want to plant enough where I can offer a friend something now and then, and the household can eat on a daily basis. That's all I'm going for. So the same thing on this side, we're going to put a lavender in the middle just to keep both containers uniform. And I really don't know what's happening with this soil. So lavender in the center, and I'm going to be putting back some of these same lettuce that I pulled. I'm just going to be putting them back right around it. Also a few of the butter crunch, but these that I pulled from this container, I'll be dropping in on the outer layer. So here we go. We have the lavender in the middle, lettuces all around it, a few tomatoes here and there, but if those should survive the winter, I'll have them for spring. Down here on the ground, guys, that's a whole lot of lettuce I have here to transplant. Over on this side, even more lettuce to be transplanted. So I'm just gonna take them out of the sun and go around the back with them now. This is pot 1, end product on the front. I think I'm gonna give my daughter the job maybe to scrape off back these pot or repaint them. I think I like the original color much better than when it's painted, so maybe I just pay her to strip that. That can be her little winter job. Now we're left with all these lettuces to find space in the backyard garden and put them. I'm just gonna stuck them in a few of these beds, and whatever can't fit, I'll just throw them to the chicken. I'm just gonna find some space wherever I can, and then I'm just gonna pop these in. Hardly can find space right now, but that's the beauty of gardening. It's like the tango. No mistakes, only lessons learned. Just squeezing them every and anywhere I can. I'm not going to be putting any in this bed because last week I sowed some radishes and other things in here and they're popping up. They have germinated already and they are now in the growth phase. So I'm not going to disturb that bed any at all. Some of these I can try them in the grow bags also. So after I put these 3 in ground, I'm going to try the grow bags. So we have a grow bag here that nothing much is in. I think this is just a green onion. I'm going to just take out these weeds and then I'm going to put lettuces in it. I think I could also put a cabbage in this one, you know, because I do have cabbages here. I'm just going to have these lettuces come in this one. So guys, I've gone ahead and planted out as much as I could, or as much as I think I could, in the garden. I'm not the gardener that will spend 2 or 3, even 3 hours in the garden. Maximum for me is an hour and a half. So that's it from me. I'm just gonna watch these because we have gotten a lot of rain for the past 2 days. Oh, the rain gauge is right there. I'm gonna come around and show you guys what's happening with the rain gauge. But we have gotten a lot of rain for the past 3 days now. So I don't need to do any form of watering to the in-ground or even the grow bags. I'm just gonna watch these, see how well they react to the transplant, and whatever I lose from it, I lose, and whatever grows, grow. But it's gonna be more than enough lettuce for me and the family. So come around to the rain gauge, and from Saturday till today, Tuesday, we've gotten 6 inches of rain here in Central Florida, or where I am at in Central Florida. 6 inches of rain. That's not bad at all. I think we got a 1/4 inch one day last week and I was a bit complaining. 6 inches of rain over the course of 3 days. Always good for the garden. Perfect. So let's not complain about things. Let's give thanks. So that's going to be it from CountryMarro in this one. God bless you all. See you in the next one. Cheers. Happy gardening.